Welcome back, everybody. We are moving right along in our 1987 Supermod save of the AWA. This episode is going to be a little bit different than what we've been doing. We have caught up on our tour, and now it is Wednesday night, and it is time to tape 4 television shows. 2 of All-Star Wrestling, which is our nationally and internationally syndicated TV show, and we are also going to tape Championship Wrestling on ESPN, which you guessed it, is on ESPN, although I also have deals with a Canadian broadcaster out of Manitoba. So let's get rolling here, and we're going to pick a good place to film this from. I always like to stick with the Midwest to film these to try to get the biggest crowd. So it looks like we're looking between 6,000 and 7,000 for our fans for this episode. I'm sorry, for this taping session. Hallenbeck Hall is in St. Cloud, Minnesota. That works for me. Let's you know what? Let's go a little smaller. Let's stick with the sports pavilion. We have been filming out of there for a little bit now. Let's stick with it. Okay, so TEW is showing us here that they want us to film AEW Championship Wrestling first. So we are going to go to our spreadsheet. Now I have saved you the details here. It takes about a half hour to figure this all out and to fill it all in with enhancement talent. And actually, you can see that I just noticed now that I've missed enhancement talents for 2 matches here. So let's go ahead. While you're on there, you get to see a taste of this. So let's go with David Price and Tony Parisi. Okay, those two will face the Top Guns. And then for the Guerrero brothers, let's go with Houdini and Van Horn. That's one hell of a name, isn't it? Houdini and Van Horn. Okay, so now we're caught up. Now see, I have All-Star Wrestling highlighted here because I figured that's what we'd film first, but I was wrong. We're going to film Championship Wrestling first, okay? The time slots are accurate here. We just got to pay attention when we start getting down to the promos of what time we're going to get the promos. Obviously, we're going to give Jerry Lawler more time because he does an excellent promo. So we are going to get rolling here. Shirley Black versus Wendy Rickers, our first match, and it's going to be 3 minutes. Remember, these are all squash matches. All squash matches. Except for the main event, of course. The main event is not a squash match. So Shirley Black versus Wendy Richter. Wendy Richter is injured, if you remember. She got her ribs busted up, but she'll still be okay for enhancement. It'll affect her, but we're getting her on TV. She's getting the exposure we want, because I'm telling you, I think she's going to be the one to unseat Sherry Martel, but we'll have to see. Okay, second, I always like to do a tag match. So in this case, it's Houdini and Van Horn versus the Guerrero brothers. Once again, 3 minutes. I didn't bother look to see who's absent. I really don't care. If it affects us, we will deal with it. Houdini and Van Horn. Now check this out. I remember. And they're not in there because I actually have them as a stable. Of course, that's how it goes. Chavo and Hector. Beautiful. We're going to have Chavo go over. Man, take a look at Houdini there in all his glory. That guy was serious. All right. So, Nelson Royal is going to defend the light heavyweight title in an enhancement match against Steve Butler. So, Butler versus Royal. And remember, as we're working this, that these enhancement talent wrestlers all actually worked for the AWA at one point or another. This is historically accurate. You would have found these enhancement talents on AWA television in the 1980s. So Nelson Royal's got the World Light Heavyweight title. Of course, Nelson Royal's going to win. The match is set for 3 minutes. Perfect. Next is going to be Mark Young versus Kevin Kelly. For those of you that don't remember, Mark Young was Chief Strongbow's son. And he had a stint in the WWF where he was doing this breakdancing gimmick. And actually, he wasn't a bad dancer, but the guy really had no appeal. He didn't have much of a look to him, didn't have much in the way of size. So he ended up in the AWA working for Vern Gagne, who tried to do something for him, probably because he was friends with Strongbow, and Mark Young was a second generation wrestler. Vern liked second generation wrestlers, but he didn't pan out to be much. So let's see how many matches he won here. So in Continental, he wrestles under Mark Pyle. So he's got a whopping 5 wins and 19 losses. Here in the AWA, I'm using him as enhancement talent. I honestly did not think much of him of a wrestler. So I have no qualms about using him as enhancement talent. So as you can see here for television, with our allotted time, I'm able to work 11 segments. And I just have to follow the times along the side, and it should bring us up to 65 total minutes. So Ken Johnson is going to lose to the Assassin. And remember, at this time period, there was a couple different assassins. Randy Colley was doing the assassin gimmick in New York, and Jody Hamilton, who was the original assassin, is doing his gimmick here in the AWA, where he's also doing behind the scenes work, and he's also running his own promotion called Deep South Wrestling at the time. His brother, who was the Missouri Mauler, was giving him a hand, and it was a successful little outlaw promotion. Check out that mullet. That's mullitude, fierce factor of about 7. Yeah, no doubt. He's got the puffy front going too. Guy's awesome. All right, the assassin takes the win. Here comes the fun part, Jerry Lawler. So Jerry Lawler's allotted 3 minutes here. We're going to give him 5 because he's a really good promo. So I stick with the freestyles here, and I make it really simple. Jerry Lawler cuts a promo. See how intense that is? And I'm going to base him off a microphone since that man could talk. And then Jerry Lawler's got his own squash match here against Kevin Collins, who once again has some serious mullitude. I think this is the period of time where Lawler was rocking a bit of a mullet himself. The picture doesn't reflect that, but he had a pretty good mullet too in the mid to late 80s. And remember, we have Jerry Lawler on loan from the CWA because we have a partnership with them. Jerry Lawler is going to win. Okay, the Midnight Express. Remember, they got a big marquee feud going with the Midnight Rockers for the World Tag Team title. Unfortunately, we can only give them 3 minutes because we gave the other time over to Lawler. But they have Paul E. Dangerously with them, who is managing them. So we're simply going to call this segment Paul E. Dangerously cuts a promo with the Midnight Express. So we're looking for Dennis Condrey, looking for Randy Rose. Dangerously is going to be based on microphone. Condrey and Rose are going to be based on entertainment. Since they're locked in a feud, we're going to put Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels on there too, even though they're not going to be in the segment. They're off screen, they're not rated. This will still activate the feud, okay? So we have Man Mountain Mike and Al Ringo going up against the Midnight Express. Maybe 3 minutes. There's Al Ringo. The guy's in his late 40s. I'll tell you what, though, I watched these matches with him doing my homework for this mod, and that guy could bump. He was a skilled wrestler. He had been around. So Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose. It's the original Midnight Express, the Midnight Express, whatever you want to call them. I have them down as the Midnight Express here in the AWA. We're going to give Randy Rose the win because he needs some shine. There he goes. Okay. And Sergeant Slaughter is going to cut a promo on Larry. He's just going to cut a promo. See, clicked the wrong guy. I was thinking too much. Sergeant Slaughter, microphone. If you remember, Sergeant Slaughter ended up in the AWA here because he got that deal with G.I. Joe. And Vince McMahon wanted a cut of that G.I. Joe money. Slaughter told him no way and left. As we all know, eventually in 1990 and 1991, he would come back to the WWF to turn heel against Hulk Hogan in the Gulf War drama. I remember being a kid, that was pretty serious stuff, seeing Sergeant Slaughter turn heel. Especially since he was kicking Cobra's ass on TV still. It was heartbreaking. Okay, this is going to be a tough one to decide what to do here. Because Sergeant Slaughter is a huge megastar here, but Larry Zbyszko is being pushed to the moon right now with Nick Bockwinkel in their feud with Hennig and Hall. So Larry Zbyszko is going to win the match here. But I'm going to tell you how he's going to win. He's going to win with outside interference from none other than his tag team partner, Nick Bockwinkel. Frankly, the more Bockwinkel, the better, because the guy is hotter than a match right now. Okay, Slaughter does not complain. Our 11 segments come out to 65 minutes. We are in business here. Remember, this is our premiere show. Okay, apparently Wendy Richter is not affected by her injury. All right. Guerrero brothers look good here. Look at that mullet again. What a thing of beauty. The part down the middle, 80s hair too. We are definitely in 87 here. All right, Nelson Royal defends his title. Pretty poor match. That's all right. His popularity will get up there. Kevin Kelly puts Mark Young to sleep, 44. The assassin takes out Kenny Johnson there with an assassin lock. Let's see if he got a squash bonus. I don't see a squash bonus. Nice promo. Ooh, he's got a hot new catchphrase. Nice. This is only going to help us. All right, Lawler. Lawler gets an 86 in this match. Nice. Kind of a poor promo there. We only gave him 3 minutes. It's our own fault. Poor match. Uh-oh. Man Mountain Mike's got a whiplash neck strain. Not good. Randy Rose did nice. Good. We're going to take Nelson Royal off as our road agent. He doesn't need to be a road agent. Wow, Sergeant Slaughter got a poor promo here. I wonder why. Didn't expect that at all. I do expect a big score for the next match, though. And we got it. 84. Nice. This will not hurt Slaughter at all either since it was a cheating match. This is quality AWA TV. Wow. Big rating, gets us popularity increases across the board. Excellent. Okay, now we're moving over to All-Star Wrestling. So we can't forget that. Because I've done it before where I've accidentally booked the wrong show. And it's not cool. Because then you're not telling the story that you want to tell. Okay, Mark Starr needs another R there. All right, so let's move along to All-Star Wrestling. Just for the heck of it, let's see. Mike Graham's missing. Okay. All right, let's keep booking here. Star versus Guerrero. This match will get a poor rating. Eddie Guerrero's just not established yet. He has the tools, but he's just not established. This can only help him. This is how it goes. You keep putting them on TV, they get more and more popular, and they do better. All right, Eddie Guerrero, he's got a great mustache there. Look at that stash, doesn't connect in the middle. He's got some mullitude also there. All right, 19-year-old Eddie. Price and Parisi are going to square off against the very poor Top Guns who look great. I think Tony Parisi's available. Now, see, right there. This is what happens. Parisi's not available. He's working for the WWF tonight. So we'll go to our tag teams, Top Guns, slide them over. So we're going to make an adjustment here. Price, Jones, and Price versus the Top Guns. 3 minutes. And we're going to put Ricky Rice over. Ricky Rice was the more skilled of the two. But they looked great. They just weren't that talented of wrestlers. Kahlua versus Russ Francis. Remember we said Russ Francis doesn't make too many appearances? Well, Russ Francis is getting his ass kicked on the event loop here, so we're going to get him on TV and get him a win. So the fans that are buying tickets to the show think that he has a chance. So the man he's wrestling here, Kahlua, for those of you that don't know, he would wrestle on the East Coast as King Kahlua, and he turned out to be a really good trainer and produced a lot of East Coast talent. But here he is, real young, just starting out. So Russ Francis is going to beat him. Terry Ellis is going to wrestle the grizzled old veteran, Buddy Wolf. Buddy Wolf was in his late 40s here. He didn't quite have the looks anymore. Wolf had spent the majority of his career in the Pacific Northwest, and he also worked some territories in Canada. He was a good, solid wrestler. I can see why Vern Gagne liked him. He was just a little bit past his prime at this point. But I keep him around because he's serviceable, and he can give some big losses to wrestlers. Like eventually I might put him in a feud on the touring circuit with like a DJ Peterson. He can only help him. So we'll keep putting him on TV and try to build him up as much as we can. I messed up again here. I forgot enhancement talent for Steve Olszanowski. We just used W.T. Jones, so we're going to use Scotty Williams here. So Williams versus Olszanowski. Another squash match. There's Steve. Very cold momentum. Well, let's just see if this helps warm him up. Okay, we're carrying on here. We're going to do a promo with Kurt Hennig and Scott Hall. We're going to give them 5 minutes because they're probably going to give a better promo than Rose and Summers. Okay, Kurt Hennig. Scott Hall. And they're going to cut a promo on Nick Bockwinkel and Larry Zbyszko. Keep that feud going hot. Not Larry Nelson, Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko and Bockwinkel are off screen. Scott Hall's definitely going to be on microphone. His microphone skills are going pretty good. Let's see what Kurt Hennig's skills are here at this point, because I'm not entirely certain. So right there, his microphone is okay. His star quality is good. Let's try him on star quality and see what this does. Okay. So now Scott Hall's got a match. I'm sorry, Dick Slater's got a match against Ernesto. I don't always put the wrestlers that are working right after. I don't always put them in the promos, especially if they don't have good promo skills. So that's why this ended up like this. There's Ernesto versus Slater. Of course, Dick Slater's going over. Dick Slater was a good wrestler, even at this point in his career. I think he went a few more years into the early 90s and he retired because I think he suffered a serious injury in WCW that put an end to his career. I can't remember exactly what it was. So Buddy Rose and Doug Summers, former World Tag Team Champions, they're going to cut a promo here. Buddy Rose can talk. Doug Summers cannot. Put him there, simple promo. And they're going to wrestle against Crusher Krugnoff and Keith Pullins. Again, two certified enhancement talents that did enhancement matches for the AWA throughout the 80s. Krugnoff and Pullins. I think Krugnoff eventually became somebody else and went to work somewhere, but don't quote me on that. Keith Pullins is the nephew of Prince Pullins, who wrestled for Dick the Bruiser's WWA in the 60s and 70s. So Keith Pullins was trying to get into the business here. He just unfortunately was not any good and stayed as enhancement talent. Decent natural athlete. He could move a little bit, but he just didn't have the tools that his uncle did. We're going to put Doug Summers over on this one. We're going to have a Nick Bockwinkel promo. And he is going to cut a promo on Kurt Hennig and Scott Hall. There we go. He's definitely on microphone. Hall and Hennig are going to go off screen. And our main event is Ali Khan versus Jimmy Snuka. This might not produce the number we want, but Bockwinkel should help here. Ali Khan was a big dude, big powerhouse, good look. Just didn't have much after the bell rang. Jimmy Snuka is obviously selling our most merchandise. He is a certified megastar, so we're going to put him at the top of this card. Want Vern to be the road agent for the main event. Okay, so we're at 65 again. We're looking good. Yeah, see, that's a rough score. But it's okay. He'll get better. Top Guns, rough score again. Price and W.G. Jones. Zero chemistry. Ooh. Russ Francis. Look at Russ Francis. Kahlua outscored him. Oh boy. We're going to have to take a look at Russ Francis's finisher and make sure he actually has a finisher in this game. I know I had to add him, but it was a couple years ago and I was still doing TEW 2016. So I may not have put a finisher in for Russ Francis, but we can look him up and we can get a finisher in the game for him. So Buddy Wolf uses his reverse neck breaker, takes out Terry Ellis. Remember the attention to detail I was telling you where I like to put heel heavyweights in there against face lightweights. I want the heels to look big. Steve Olszanowski went ahead and took out Scotty Williams. Now Steve-O, he gets a good score. This promo was a little disappointing. I thought it'd be a little bit better than that, but that's okay. Dick Slater's got a nice score there. Oof, that's a rough score. You know what though? That was the one we cut down to 3 minutes, so they'd probably have a better go of it on with some more time. Definitely. They did okay here. Look at these guys. Look at the numbers they're putting up here. They are over. They are definitely over. Nick Bockenwick with a solid promo. I'm telling you, I think I got to leave this guy as the champion here. He is just too good. And the main event only gets a 66. That's not good. This could hurt us. Is Snuka showing signs of age? No, he's not. But why is he cutting weight? Somebody else must have him cutting weight for him. Yeah, that hurt. We lost a point. We don't like that. All right, folks, I think we're going to take a break. We're going to turn this into a part 1 and part 2. So we'll be back with another video here, and we'll go ahead and cover the next 2 shows for this recording session here in the first week of August. So if you haven't already, please give us a like. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel here. And then if you want to join us and talk about the Supermod, you can join us on facebook.com/1987supermod. And if you want this mod, if you want to play it, if you're a TEW 2020 player, go to my website and go to the contact page and let me know, and I'll email it over to you. So that's braddrake.net/contact. Okay? All right, thanks everybody, and we'll see you in a little bit here for part 2. Take care.